Hello and welcome to Grumpy Gamers. You're here with me, Pete, and along with me this week I have Ben.
Hello.
Eddie.
Hello.
And Donnie.
Hello.
Yes, and I mean, obviously Donnie's a new arrival. Great to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
No worries. I've been given an intro for you, Donnie, so I'm going to do my best to give this all the oomph it deserves.
Yeah, you got to give it some.
Pete's not known as an umpher. I'll let you know now.
No.
So.
Unless I bring the mic close, but I've been told that's a bad thing.
No, that's a no-no. That's a
That's
no-no.
too sexual.
Anyway, Donnie apparently is an all-around Twitter troll.
It's
Writer for
apparently,
Pure
there you
Dead
go.
Gaming.
You failed already. No, I did not say it right. But
Just
apparently,
read it.
it was like it was a dig. Apparently. What's
Well,
that?
I don't go on Twitter, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, you don't go near that well, do you?
I do not at all, no. But he's also a co-host of the monthly news recap podcast at Pure Dead Gaming, Afterlife. So, yeah, and there was a new episode, wasn't there? Was that Monday?
Yes, came out on Monday. That was everyone's favourite. Mr. Punk was on it as well this month. Ben, you've been on a couple of times, so
I have. We could segue there, Pete. We could segue.
Fantastic.
Teeing you up.
Oh, do you want to go into Game of the Year promotion already?
Yep. There you go. No verbatim for you to read.
Bad
Fantastic.
segue.
Speaking of Punk, we are also
good.
doing our Game of the Year show
Very
on the
good.
28th of December, where Punk will be joining us as an extra host. Instead of doing, no, I suppose as well as doing the What the Fuck Do You Want podcast for that week. I'm guessing it's as well as, right?
Yeah,
I
probably.
would assume so.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I
He's
don't
the
know
master.
scheduling, but yeah.
Busy
Yeah,
Christmas.
he's a consummate professional.
Well,
His editing process is a lot more professional than ours, just so.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
that is true.
But anyway, to get back to it, great to have you with us, Donnie.
No problem. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
You poor soul. Yes. Excellent. And we will, of course, be talking about a feature that, well, should be pretty close to both you and Ben for the last week, which is the, we're going to talk about review scores, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. It's been the talk of the town over the last, I want to say 2 months, but certainly the last week anyway.
Yeah.
It's became very prevalent. So
Yes, a good time to dive into that. But before that, of course, we will be going through the news, the new releases, and a bit of what we've been playing, which includes Callisto Protocol, which
Lovely.
I'm just going to leave hanging for a second because it relates to the feature massively, and Marvel's Midnight Suns, which, to be honest, surprised me because I didn't think any of us were going to play that, but nicely done, Ben.
Yep. It's been played, but briefly.
Fantastic, good. So a full review,
A
excellent.
full review. Yeah.
Comprehensive, undoubtable review. Right,
Absolutely.
perfect. But before that, we should start with the quick news, shouldn't we?
Yes. Now, the biggest news of the week, even though it's in the quick news, is the biggest news of the week. Eddie and I won our first game on Warzone. Warzone 2.
Is that
We-
news?
Wow.
It's news, Eddie. Eddie, the listeners want to know. There's been streams, there's been YouTube videos. Nobody's watched them, but they're out there.
All right. If we go down this road, to our listeners, we were playing quads and we got our first win. And between us, and remember, there's how many players in quads? 200 on the map. And of course, you can come back more at least once. So let's say, but only half the people. So let's put another 100 on. That's 300 people. We had a combined kill of 4 people.
We did.
So
We did. We did.
Is that a 1-0? Is that the equivalent of a 1-0 extra time win, basically?
Yeah.
I think it's even worse than that. I think it's an own goal.
You guys didn't even play in the match. You just roamed around and waited for everyone else to finish.
Well, you know what's funny? We weren't actively not trying to find people. We were just running around, and we found one team, and then when we killed them, it was game over. So right, fine,
Yeah.
we're winners.
Yeah.
What do you want?
So,
That was it.
so literally, you won the first game of Warzone ever by camping.
Pretty much, it seems.
A quad
I mean-
casting. You never heard of that before.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't trying to camp, but we have tactics which put us in the right positions. It's all about positioning this latest Warzone. That's what we've learned.
Oh,
see?
absolutely.
But a couple of nights before, we actually lost to some cheaters in the gas. So,
Yeah,
you
that
felt
was
more
pretty
yeah,
justified
we
there.
should have won that game as well, but we got fucked over there.
Yeah,
that
they
was
had
annoying.
infinite gas mask, so when we were watching them, they just stayed in the gas the whole entire time.
Wow.
That was annoying. That's
a
but
ballsy
there we
choice.
go. So the big news of the week. Anyway, now we've got that out the way. There was a new trailer for The Last of Us TV show, which comes out in January. Seemed to go down very well. Did anybody see that one?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they
Good. Looks
emphasised the I don't know what do you call the naughty people?
Zombies.
Are they zombies? Because they got weird heads.
They're not zombies. No, I still class it as zombie genre.
Yes.
Yeah, it is zombie genre.
Which
yeah,
I
for
don't know
sure.
about you guys, but I'm kind of tired of.
Oh,
I'm so
okay.
sick
Oh,
of
there you
it.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Christ.
sick of it.
Yeah. So as much as I love The Last of Us, I will watch it, but I'm a bit meh on it. But I will watch it.
I do like him. What's his name, Pete? You know,
Pedro
Pascal.
Pascal.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal in everything. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be great. HBO do great shows, don't they?
Yeah.
They throw a lot of money at it and they
Exactly.
make sure it's right. So hopefully this lives up to expectation because it could very easily do a Halo on us.
It won't do a Halo.
With those heavy hitter actors, I don't think it
Yeah,
could.
that's it. I
Do you know what I mean?
A bit of a guarantee that at least the acting is going to be on point,
Yes.
which can't be
Yeah.
said for Halo. So, yeah.
Yeah, certainly hope so. Next up, Valve will be giving away one Steam Deck every minute at the Game Awards. And I originally wrote that down, and then just before the show, I went, okay, that is actually just a couple of hundred, so it's not as big a deal as
240, isn't it?
originally it sounded. So, yeah, we'll move on. Sifu is getting a live-action movie adaptation from the writer of John Wick, and I suppose that is the way to do it, isn't it?
Yes,
Oh,
that's the right style to do something like Sifu.
Absolutely. It seems to fit Sifu very, very well.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Although I
yeah.
would love it if they did it Kung Fu Hustle style instead. That would be hilarious. So, yeah, anyway. Anyway.
That is a game that's kind of been forgotten this year. I really did like that game.
You did? Yeah.
Not a GOTY contender, but it's
No,
a good game.
okay, right.
Good game. So,
Cool.
I suppose there we go. We forget. PlayStation 4 and 5 versions of Neon White will launch on the 13th of this month, so not long from now. So that's a nice release for PlayStation, seeing as Neon White has done very well on Switch and PC, and it's got a Metacritic of around 90, I think.
It has indeed. Yeah.
And it's been
great reviews.
nominated for loads of Gossies.
Yeah. It's a good game by all accounts. Stadia have started issuing the refunds for Google Store hardware purchases, and they ask customers to check their emails. So for the one, maybe two,
I was going to
listeners
say,
that bought Stadia,
yeah.
check your emails.
Why are we working as their PR?
It's a weird one. Yeah.
They ask people to check. I'll just relay the message. There we go. We're doing our duty to fellow gamers, I suppose. Right, Monster Hunter Rise. I didn't write Rise, but Monster Hunter Rise will be coming to Xboxes and PlayStations on the 20th of January, but it's also coming to Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, it's already advertised on it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so that's pretty damn cool. The Sunbreak expansion will come in the spring. I've put Xboxes here. I don't know if that includes Xbox One. I don't know if it includes PlayStation 4. Probably should have researched that before, but if you're interested, you should probably check that out.
It's the quick news, quick research as well.
It's the quick news, quick research. Don't look at headlines, and that is pretty much it. So, that is the method for this podcast. Next up, one close to our heart, DMZ. So Warzone 2 DMZ, which we talked about for the last couple of weeks, and Eddie and I are playing a lot of. It's to get a Metal Gear Solid style extraction balloon that you can buy at buy stations for weapons and blueprints to get extracted out. Before you actually physically extract yourself. So it allows you, if you find a good blueprint on the map and you go, wow, I really want to extract with this, but you're worried about getting killed in the meantime and therefore not having that blueprint outside of the map, you can buy this item at the buy station, which will cost $2,000, supposedly. It's been data mined. And you can extract with that. Do you think that sounds like a good idea, Eddie?
I don't give a dump about the current idea, but, because, like, weapons and stuff, you only have limited space and, it's difficult to find a good weapon, blah, blah, blah. But you know what I'm excited? I'm excited they brought it in because that, to me, says they're planning to do something more about the out-of-game mechanics.
Yes, absolutely. Like, this has been data mined, so I think it's planned to come in at some point, supposedly, but it does mean that there's more, that they're looking at other things. And we've said, we've been championing it the last couple of weeks, that they need some kind of economy, they need something going on outside, and this just points more
towards
that, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
Are you a Warzoner, Donny?
No, no, but I when I have internet in my house, I will try it because I've got Modern Warfare 2, and I reviewed it for the Pure Tide Gaming website, so I did enjoy it, and I don't do Call of Duty at all. So I am going to try it because everyone I've heard or read is all loving it. So why not give it a try?
Yeah,
And
I did read your Call of Duty, your Modern Warfare one, and
thank you.
It is that thing of coming back to a multiplayer that you may not have played for years. This one seems to be a way back in.
Yes. And the thing is, and that is the beauty of free to play as well. Let's be honest here, because it attracts people like me that would normally have gone, well, I'm not spending money on that because that's not my cup of tea at all.
Yeah.
And there's an easy way in there, particularly if you've got a lot of people that are playing, because that's the hook as well. If you've got 2, 3, 4 people that are playing it with you, even better.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, no, listen, I it's definitely something. When I'm set up, I will be trying it. And I was thinking as well, like a Metal Gear Solid 5 extraction balloon sounds great as well, particularly in real life if you're surrounded by Tories. So it'd be fantastic to have one of them in my pocket.
My immediate question with this was, can you shoot the balloons if you see them rising away?
Yeah, that sounds
awesome.
like something Warzone would have in it.
Yes,
Yeah,
you could shoot down the old balloons at Easter. So
yeah, so that does sound like something that could be added. So who knows?
That's fair.
Yeah, we'll see how that pans out. Then a couple of late entries, because I think they're late news today. Jedi Survivor. There will be a stream confirmed for that at the Game Awards, and Steam accidentally today leaked the release date as the 15th of March, together with all the pre-order bonuses. So that's coming out very soon.
Looking forward to this. Very much so.
How did you get on with the first one?
Loved it. Yeah, absolutely loved it. I actually tried to go back at some point this year I did a New Game Plus to go for the Platinum.
Yeah.
And remembered how awful the fucking map is and rage quit.
It's terrible, isn't it?
It is probably one of the worst maps you'll play in gaming. So I'm praying they have sorted that.
That is exactly what we've said, isn't it?
Massively, yes. The map was 80% of the reason I stopped playing it after 3 hours.
Yeah. But it is a fantastic game, though.
I just didn't like that you couldn't immediately travel back to your ship after doing a section.
Or doing anything. It was just...
It's like...
Oh, man. It was so bad. So surely they'll take the feedback on board with that. Because that was universal.
Yeah. And it must be said, actually, traversal in general was the other bit I didn't like. Whether it was at the end of the mission or during it. Ugh. Anyway.
Yeah.
There we go. And lastly, Microsoft have confirmed that first-party games will be moving to $70/£70, as we kind of expected.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a shock. But this is interesting because it's a win-win for them. Because now they just say Game Pass is more attractive than ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until obviously Game Pass adds on 20% next year.
Yeah. But 20% to a monthly fee just feels less.
Oh yeah.
Even then, that's like you'd have to be 5 games. Like you see what I mean? Like
But you're already through the looking glass if you've got Game Pass at this point. If they pop another £2 onto the price, it's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like Craig said recently, because if you own an Xbox and you don't have Game Pass, why?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It's madness to not have it. So, yeah.
Yeah, so my nephew and niece are getting my Series S for Christmas, and I've said to my brother, like, there's this thing called Game Pass. That's what you need to get them. Yeah. You just get Game Pass. Then it's all done. Then they've got something magnificent.
And you'll be the best uncle in the world.
Absolutely, but he'll take all the credit and he won't say that I contributed to all.
He'll say it's brand new.
He'll say it's brand fucking new. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Anyway, that is the quick news.
Fantastic. Well, taking us on to the main news then, I'll lead us off because we talked a bit about the issues with Scarlet and Violet last week, didn't we, Ben?
Yep, we did.
Yeah, and Nintendo have now apologised for at least the performance issues in that. So
kind of,
yeah. So the quote we had is that we are aware that players may encounter issues that affect the game's performance. Our goal is always to give players a positive experience with our games, and we apologise for the inconvenience. We take the feedback from players seriously and are working on improvements to the games. So
good.
Yes, sort of is kind of the right word, isn't it? It is an apology, but there's not much to it.
No.
Yeah, and December the 1st did bring a new patch, which made a handful of changes and some selected bug fixes, didn't it, Ben? Have you played since?
I played the other day. It's added the ranked battles, hasn't it?
Yes,
that's it. But I'm not ready to compete yet. I'm not ready. and it changed some music bug in the Elite Four.
Yes, this was the bit I particularly wanted to know about, is whether you experienced that before as well.
No, I don't know, and I've been playing it on silent most of the time.
Oh, okay. Of course you have.
So yeah, most of the time I'm
getting rid of all
not
that
really
lovely voice acting. Why would you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm missing out. I'm missing out, man. But yeah, it's but obviously nothing is done on performance yet, and that's the main thing they need to change, if at all. So we'll see. We'll see what happens on that one. There was a weird thing went on when Game Explain did a video on it, claiming that performance had got better, and then almost immediately Nintendo Life came out with their own video saying nothing has happened to performance. It was quite like the guy from Game Explain obviously wasn't actually measuring frame rate. He was just looking at it. I was just going, this is better, blah blah blah, but it just clearly wasn't. So bit of an embarrassment thing there for them. But never mind.
Lovely. Yeah. So
have you played Pokemon, Donny, yet?
No, my Scarlet. Sorry, I shouldn't say my copy. A copy of Scarlet arrived through the post today, but it's for my son for his Christmas. But when I say that, I will be playing it, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, it goes without saying, doesn't it? You know. Yeah, it's a joint gift. So that actually arrived today. So the timing of this patch is actually quite welcome. Because I can't play shit at 30 frames. It's just not happening. So,
I tell you what, you do get very used to it. I know that's not what you want to hear, but you do get used to it as you go through. And it's also one of those things that it's not even something that I see on the game now.
Okay.
Like and I've never seen any of these glitches that people are talking about. I've seen a couple of where it clips through the world when the Pokeball is in the wrong place. Yeah, I've seen that once or twice, but I really haven't seen the glitches that people talk about. It doesn't mean they don't exist. It just means
of course. Yeah, but the thing is, there's they've sold 10 million copies, and you've seen a handful of glitches.
Absolutely.
How big an issue is this? So.
Well, to be fair as well, by the way, there is a modder creating a 60 FPS mod for Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I saw that on Twitter.
Why am I telling you people who are on Twitter all the time? Yes.
You're telling the listeners, but pretending that we don't know. That's what you're doing.
Oh, no, I had no idea whether you don't, because I don't see what you do on Twitter.
There was someone replied, obviously like a Pokemon fan, took offense that this person had modded their game, and they went, the other version looks better. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
That's impossible.
Factually, it does not. Oh, man.
But hopefully Pokemon does get some performance patches. I'm confident that they'll do something about it. But equally, as I said, you kind of get used to it.
Yeah. It's Game Freak. They won't do much about it. They'll just make you accept it over time.
Absolutely. I've already accepted it, Pete.
Exactly. Well, but you're an easy win, but I am
an easy win, but so are a lot of Pokemon fans. Unfortunately, we're a rare breed.
Very fair. Very fair. Well, there's been some other Nintendo news as well, hasn't there?
Nice segue.
Thanks.
Very good.
Well played.
I put lots of effort into it.
Very good. This one's about the Nintendo Smash Bros. Fan competition controversy. The Smash World Tour is an international tournament circuit in which competitors can qualify for the Smash World Tour Championships. I have never heard of this before. Have you guys did? I bet you did, Ben. Bet you knew about it.
No.
To be honest, I didn't know about it.
Oh, wow.
I didn't, yeah. I don't really keep up with... I know Smash Brothers is very competitive.
Yeah.
Or it's pretty much one of the only real competitive, apart from Splatoon 3 games on the Switch that I know about. But Nintendo don't really champion... online competitive multiplayer, like they don't really get behind it. They don't really. I think they just see it as a problem, like potential issues.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is why I guess this news story. Yeah, but it's just the organisers describe it as the largest esports tour in history for any game title. This year's event, which ran between March and November, incorporated 6,400 live events around the world, attracting 325,000 in-person entrants.
That is a lot.
Jesus.
That is a shit ton, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. So the World Championships were meant to be held between the 9th and 11th of December, but organisers on Tuesday received notice the night before Thanksgiving from Nintendo that we could no longer operate. As such, December's championships and the entirety of next year's Smash World Tour have been cancelled. Good old Nintendo. So this is from Eurogame. Let me read out the blurb. In response to organisers' initial claims, Nintendo released a statement acknowledging it was unable to come to an agreement with SWT for a full circuit into 2023. However, it denied requesting the cancellation of any remaining events in 2022, including December's championship event, considering the negative impact on the players who were already planning to participate. How nice of you, Nintendo. Organisers went on to rebuff Nintendo's... Yeah, don't think that's all nice. Organisers went on to rebuff Nintendo's version of events, citing a written document in which the company had said it would not be able to grant a license for the Smash World Tour Championship 2022 or any Smash World Tour activity in 2023. However, Nintendo has provided Eurogamer with a second, far lengthier statement, further stressing it was happy for this year's championship to go ahead. When we noticed that SWT that we would not license their 2022 or 2023 activities, the company wrote, we also let them know verbally that they were not requiring they cancelled a 2020 finals event because of the impact it would have on the players. Thus, the decision to cancel the SWT 2022 was, and still is, their own choice. I won't keep on going because it goes on for a while, but basically they came back and said bullshit back.
Why is no one just taking a screenshot of the fucking email or letter then? Surely this entire conversation goes away in 30 seconds, right? Here it is, dickheads. Shut up.
Yeah.
Right? This is ridiculous. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
It is. I think there's more around this. Like, I've heard more about the organisers and maybe them and using the weight of the license to get other people involved in it and stuff like that. And so I think with the license being pulled away, a lot of it may be crashing down. But you can also imagine Nintendo going, yeah, you can carry on doing December's event if you really think you need to. Like you can imagine like Nintendo just being, but do you really want to do that though?
Yeah.
So yeah, This isn't a good look. Nintendo aren't into competitive scene, and people put a lot of time, effort, money into all of this stuff, don't they?
Yeah, the organisers have already stated that they're going to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars over this.
Jesus.
Good. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, and let's bring up the more important thing is the fans are going to be really unhappy because obviously this has been cancelled with like a week to go. It's a real shame.
I know the message here is that this happened kind of overnight, and we've just received this email. That doesn't just get received, does it? Like,
they probably
you're trying to get a license. You realise like you're in deep negotiations. You're really trying to get something through, and suddenly, out of the blue, on a Tuesday, the night before Thanksgiving, like to play that card, we get a thing saying we can't continue. Not after the lengthy months of discussion, which Nintendo have been like, no, we really aren't happy. But then out of the blue, they said we can't do it. I don't know. It just all sounds a bit fucking weird, doesn't it?
Yeah. After we booked everything without any permission as well. How dare they?
Yeah, exactly. How dare they pull the rug that wasn't even beneath our feet away from us?
I'm stunned at this.
Yeah, there we go.
All I'm going to add to this is, can we please give Eddie long news stories every week? Because that was amazing.
I thought I did
going
that really
full
well.
read mode on a page.
I actually thought Eddie did quite well considering other times where you've gone fuller.
You know what?
Yeah.
So I had to include 3 of those paragraphs. So what I did is I took 2 of the... Because I've got, for our listeners, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs on here. But what I did, those first 2 paragraphs, I kind of paraphrased them and I talked about them.
Yeah,
instead
you
of
did,
reading.
and you brought us into the conversation as well. It was very nice.
And because
really
the
liked
rest
that.
had so many quotes in, I thought, now you need to go read mode because you can't just paraphrase that. And so,
I know, I think you did right. I celebrate you.
Thank
Eddie.
you.
That's great.
Thank you. I thought I did really well there.
I really enjoyed the intro, and then I really liked how robotic it became. That was the bit I loved about it. Oh, definitely agree with you. Just really liked it.
Fantastic. Right, we've got more Nintendo news.
God, really?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Usually it's Xbox every single fucking week. So this time it's Nintendo. Did everyone see the new Mario movie trailer?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Was that a no from Pete?
It was a
was
yes.
Pete the only
Yeah,
no?
the fact has gone
No,
quiet. Yeah.
The first thing I heard was like, "Did you see it?" The first one, no. Right, brilliant. Great. Okay. Right. There was a Nintendo Direct last Tuesday, and it showed the second trailer for the Mario movie, and it was 2 minutes and 20 seconds long, which is actually, I think, it's quite a long trailer. I thought it looked fucking fantastic. I think it captures the Mario spirit perfectly. Had a load of game callbacks in it, Rainbow Road, that type of stuff, all in there. Like the way they've incorporated almost like the platforming stuff into the film as well. Fantastic. Voice acting, from what we heard, I think sounded really good. In particular, Princess Peach.
Oh, I thought that, yeah. Yeah, because they gave her
really,
quite a lot of screen time, actually, this time.
They really did in the trailer, didn't
Yeah,
they? She seems to be heavy in the plot, so that's great.
They're going for the whole girl power thing, aren't they, really?
I think so,
Yeah.
I think as well, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. I thought she really seems to be bringing the film together there. So it's voiced by Anya Taylor-Joy, who, when I looked her up on Google, looks really familiar. I looked at what she's been in, and I couldn't really recognise much, but I don't know if
The Queen's Gambit would be the one most people know.
right, there we go. I
that's
knew
her.
it.
Oh, right.
Oh,
I
she
think
was on Graham Norton recently. That's how I know that. I'm thinking, how do I know that name? She was on Graham Norton about a month ago.
Right, because I thought I'd recognised her, and I looked for her filmography. Is that the word?
Yeah.
How does it work, Ben?
Yeah, that's a word. So I didn't see. Obviously, Queen's Gambit is a TV series. So yeah, okay, fair enough. We also got to hear more Chris Pratt, didn't we, as Mario? And I actually think he sounds fine. He sounds good. Not last time when he said like 2 words, Twitter was all full of like hate. But this time not an awful lot about him. So I think that's pretty good for him, and I thought he sounded absolutely fine. Don't know what.
I think people have been a little bit harsh.
Yeah, I think so.
Shocking.
On literally like 3 words, whatever.
I
know.
And it's like,
he's
guys,
terrible and lifeless. He said like hello.
I know. Oh man, yeah. Good old Chris Pratt.
Imagine how many takes they did on that hello as well. And it comes out, this is lifeless. Oh, I'd be a killer. Absolute killer feedback. Yeah.
The trailer was an absolute fucking delight, though.
Okay.
It really, I've watched it several times. If you haven't, go watch it on YouTube. And the movie comes out on the 30th of March next year.
Yeah, I mean, visually it looks stunning. And say what you want, right, about all the Despicable Me and Minions. It's been milked to death, yeah. But you know what? My kids love them, and they look fucking great. And this looks great. Illumination do a good job. Let's be honest here. So I think as a film, it might not be what Mario fans want, because it never is.
Yeah.
But I think as a visual movie, I think it looks really fucking great. And like I said, for me, it was expected, because that's what Illumination do.
Yes.
So my news, kind of awkwardly, because Ben a minute ago just went, we don't have any Xbox news today. Oh, now you fucking do. and the news kind of this week is a bit more of the kind of ongoing saga at 343. And this week they lost their multiplayer creative director. Now, that sounds quite an important job at 343, making Halo, to be honest with you. Yeah. So him, a guy called Tom French, he left. He's been there 11 and a half years. I don't think it can be any coincidence. The new winter update just came out, which obviously makes Halo a complete game now.
Yeah.
Adding in Forge and in the co-op campaign. So, yeah, this is... I don't know. I generally don't know where 343 go from here. You know, they lost Bonnie Ross 3-ish months ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, she was made the fall guy, fall person for the shambles that is Halo Infinite. And yeah, I had a little look as well at Steam rankings, right? Again, just to gauge a little where interest is. And since that big update came out, which, by the way, people who have played it, I've heard nothing but positives about, they got an extra 1,500 average players. That's it. All that work. I know it's only Steam, but it's still relative, regardless how you look at it. 1,500 players they gained for that big update, including Forge. And I just think it's a long line of quite embarrassing events at this game, which, like I said, Ben, you were on our show when we spoke about Bonnie Ross leaving, and I by coincidence, just played a bit of Halo for maybe sort of 10, 15 hours, and what I played was really good. Again, I've never played Halo since the Xbox 360, so I had no real reference point other than a decade ago. But to be in this situation, again, I don't know what you guys feel the future of Halo looks like. I wouldn't be shocked if this gets taken off of 343. And I certainly wouldn't be shocked if the merger does go ahead, which I'm not going to say the name, not going to say the word. If that merger goes ahead, I'd be even more shocked if there's not a restructuring and maybe a co-production between, say, 343 and Sledgehammer, as an example.
Yeah.
I do not see a vision where 343 gets the next Halo game complete freedom again.
Yeah.
Yes, I think on your point of new players on Steam or returning players, even the update that they pushed out there, like, we were very into Halo and we haven't tried it. We haven't tried the new Forge mode. We haven't tried anything really. We haven't tried the co-op campaign. It's just it's kind of dropped off the radar. The way these games stay alive is obviously through their multiplayer, and since the campaign has already been and gone, like, I think that co-op campaign stuff was almost like dead. Like, it's not new, so people aren't playing it. Forge is an interesting thing, but with the multiplayer, we are living in an age now where we had this feature the other week where we talked about the future of first-person shooters. I genuinely think they're moving away from that standard multiplayer. And I don't think it's easy to hold an audience. We played 100-odd hours of it each. We were playing Halo most nights, weren't we, guys?
Yeah.
But then, no.
Well, this is the thing. I think you have to have more than one option. You can't just be like one mode.
Well, so for comparison, Call of Duty has multiplayer. It has DMZ. It has Warzone. It also has Ground War, which is like Battlefield. It's got third person Warzone, which is like PUBG. It's covered every fucking base.
Yeah.
It's just gone, right, okay, we just need to have every single version that's the same or better than everything else. And something like Halo's just gone, right, we'll stick to the original, and great, we played it for a bit and we liked it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame.
Comparing it to Call of Duty as well, compare it to Splatoon, Ben. Like, Splatoon's got more options.
Oh, it absolutely does,
a lot more options.
Absolutely.
Like,
and they do constant, and they do their Splatfest and stuff like that, so they always seemingly doing something more, something relevant, bringing new weapons. They were just more prepared, and it's such a shame because, Donnie, I agree, really good game.
Yeah,
really good game.
Yeah,
but that's it.
It's just a shame to see Xbox's flagship title is such a mess,
especially with its name being called Halo Infinite. Like, and then say, we're gonna this is gonna be this is the Halo. We're just gonna add to it forever, and it's just okay. Well, nobody gives a fuck. They need a clean break. It almost seems. But this does put, and I think this may have done a favor. And hear me out on this one because this is a tenuous favor. I think it may have done a favor for games like Starfield, games like Redfall, and it may have almost enforce the delay on those rather than bring them forward. It's more gone, right, we need these to be off the bat fucking brilliant. No fucking about. These need to be working. This is why I said I reckon Starfield could be the first Bethesda game that comes out that isn't broken as fuck on the first week.
I still don't buy it.
Yeah, that is
I don't really buy it either. I'm asking you to suspend belief here.
That's the case as well.
Pretend up is down and down is up. Right, okay.
I mean, feel free to use this because I'm proud of this, but I call this the Cyberpunk effect. For me, Cyberpunk was the game that did that.
Yes.
And the delays since then have been almost every game.
Oh, yeah.
Almost every game has been delayed at some point since Cyberpunk. And to be fair, again, I said that what Cyberpunk did was almost a good thing because we, in theory, shouldn't get anything like that again. And we should, in theory, get games that are all but perfect.
I hear what you're saying. You're saying Nintendo go against the grain. They're those people that don't give a fuck because they went Pokemon. Yeah, it doesn't even meet our standards. Fucking get it out there. Don't even worry about it, son. We'll be all right.
10 million sales, baby.
3 days. But
I always love this as well because as a PC player, I saw nothing wrong with Cyberpunk at any stage.
Pete, to be honest, like I heard somebody else talk about the PC version.
Craig, it was. Oh no,
they said that it was fucking. I heard. Well, Craig said that, and
Craig played it on PS5, but PS4 version on PS5, and he was fine.
I played it on PS5, PS4 version, basically day one, and I didn't see anything really wrong with it. But I heard somebody else talk about the PC version, saying that it's broken and still broken.
Yeah,
I was like, well, that's
I hate that Pete always comes back with this comment because I remember saying at the time that I think it was the majority of the problems as in glitches, were on PC.
Yeah,
and
it
he just went.
me. I've
And
not
you,
had a single one.
you did say at the time, Pete, you went like, "Oh, well, I think I was just lucky then."
Yeah, I still do. I
Yeah.
still do. But it always amuses me greatly because you're like trying to remember individual bugs and going like, nah, I don't. Apart from the AI, which I expected
I had
to be a
crashes.
bit random.
I had crashes. That was my thing. But they fixed that a couple of weeks after release. It was all good. Yeah. Anyway, it's done.
Either way, we got back to Xbox by the end of the news. Fantastic. Okay.
There we go. Full circle, baby. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. Who invited this pony on?
Oh, phenomenal. Well, that does take us onto the new releases. And there's a lot, isn't there?
Yeah, we got shitloads. So I haven't culled any. I'm just not going to read out the blurb and just say what most of the games are. Basically, the really bad ones. You know, the bad ones that you think Ben might like. That's how.
Whoa, that's
Switch games, right? Okay,
Yeah,
Right.
there you go. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to read the blurb of the first one, and I know Ben's going to like this one. This is Alaskan Truck Simulator, coming out on PC, PlayStations, Xboxes, December 7th. This is a Christmas cracker. Be a trucker, not a truck. I mean, that's the beginning of the blurb. You can't go wrong with this.
God.
Step into the boots of an Alaskan truck. Of Alaskan truck drivers. That's weird. Why would you step into multiple? Get behind the wheel of huge machines and brave one of the harshest and most dangerous environments. Take up the challenge and see if you can survive long enough to fully experience the raw beauty of wild Alaska. The visuals look great. Looks beautiful. There's career progression. There's a survival system. Can you believe it? There's dynamic weather and day and night cycle. You can upgrade and repair your truck. This is weird, but I love that you've even got a little home area in the back of your truck.
Loved it as well, yeah.
And you've got a fridge and you need to eat and stuff. It's fucking brilliant.
Brilliant.
Pete's Game of the Year.
The moment you mention career progression, like, what are you going to... How does it change? You're driving a truck. Yeah, fine.
I don't know, maybe bigger trucks, better cargo. What do you want?
Bigger cargo, get
cargo.
paid more, maybe upgrade the TV in your truck.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
You can maybe upgrade your fridge, one of those little Xbox fridges that you can buy.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, I've got
Ben,
one of
you
those.
wasted money on that, didn't
The
you?
moment you said
I've
it,
got
you knew Ben.
That's
had spent money
£100
on
well
that.
spent.
You can fit about 3 cans of fucking Red Bull in it.
I think, 4 maybe.
He
4
couldn't
maybe.
afford to come to EGX this year, but he could afford
No, I
that.
But he could afford a fucking Xbox fridge.
Yeah, but I got the Xbox fridge. I had to get that, and I don't even turn it on. I just turn the light on because you can just turn the Xbox light on rather than actually turn it on.
Wow.
It's an ornament at best.
The state of our bills these days. Okay, fantastic. It's a lamp.
It is, yeah. It's a very, very poor lamp.
Perfect. Oh, God.
Getting back onto it. This
I'm
game...
glad I mentioned that now, actually.
Anyway, this game looks good.
It looks great. It looks really good. Anything from anyone else?
Cool, let's move on.
Good.
Oh, honestly, I really like the look of this. Like the way
I don't know what's up with them, Eddie. Don't worry about
wait,
it.
it's not just driving the truck. You have to look down. And you have to switch certain things. And...
Yeah, you have to go up. You have to fill the gas as well,
exactly.
like properly and
You
everything.
have to pull out the thing
And you go and sleep at the end of the day. You've got your little bed
Well,
in
you got
there.
to,
and-
Does it
It's
make
got
you go through
survival
8 hours of just a dark room?
Yeah, it's got a full survival system, Eddie. So.
Yeah, absolutely,
Dynamic weather, day and night cycle.
absolutely.
Fantastic.
In the harsh wilderness.
Absolutely.
Lovely. What a game. Right, we'll move on. Hubris is coming out on PC VR December 7th. It's an action adventure. I've put CR game. Don't know what that is. VR game. So, yeah, looks okay.
It
I
does look
thought it
pretty
looked really
nice,
good. It's a
but-
survival game. It's a survival game.
It's...
You put action adventure, but it's
Well, no, it puts itself down as an action adventure game on
Yeah,
Steam.
where's the survival elements in it?
uh,
Are you
But-
sure?
could be wrong.
It
Are you
does
sure?
look...
Like, none of the tags have survival in them. There's no mention. If I just control
It
F,
would point to the fact that I'm wrong. Then
It's in the blurb you deleted, Eddie, to be fair, the word survive. But it's not like everything I've seen suggests it's action adventure. It does
Oh,
look very
okay,
cool.
fair
But
enough.
the
Fuck it
7
then.
people with VR, I'm sure. will
Yeah,
love
to be fair, if you press Control F and type in survive, it does say there's one, and it says to survive, you'll have to shoot, swim, climb, and jump your way.
there you go.
Okay.
Survival
Well,
elements.
Yeah, but that's not survival elements like eating.
Am I
like
wrong?
Weather. Yes.
Do you have to survive?
But you can say that in every game.
So does
Do you have to
Mario.
survive?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Right, okay, Crash Bandicoot is a survival game.
Brilliant. Let's move on.
Fuck's sake. Right, next one. I'm going to get this wrong. I'm going to say Ixion.
No, that's spot on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, fucking nailing this. Coming out on PC December 7th. Authorised by Dolos AEC, you will guide the Tikkun space station. Why do they name these things that?
I love
Why
it.
do they
I
do
love
this? That's 3 names in one sentence. Fuck off, Ixion. In a perilous journey to find a new home for humanity, station infrastructure, population management, exploration, survival. Ben, there you go. It's like Crash Bandicoot. These responsibilities fall to you. Will you find hope out there in the dark? Good luck, administrator. Stupid blurb, but I love the look of this game. I think it looks nice.
It
yeah,
looks fantastic, doesn't it?
I'm surprised. It says it's a story game, and there's a story that you follow, which is surprising because this looks like if they went down the "this game can go on forever" kind of look, I wouldn't be mad at that. Yeah. It's up to you to manage these risks and deal with emergencies. So basically, you get like emergencies that keep things interesting. I love a management game, and this looks like a nice looking one with extra elements involved. I'm all in. I've already put it on my wish list.
Yeah, I thought you would.
It's like SimCity in space.
There you go. Sold.
That's kind of how I read it as. It looks great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I thought Pete and Eddie, I thought both of you would be right into
This is it. It seems to be that there's star maps to explore as well. So it does mention strategy gaming in there as well. So
it does, yeah.
I'm on board. Obviously, I'm on board.
Pete, you got resources.
Exactly, yeah. If there's more than 10, you know I'm there.
Well,
you know I'm there.
I'm sorry to say there's... Holy shit, Pete. Oh my God, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Smashed it.
Right,
Yeah.
Pete's bought it. Day
barriers.
1, Pete's got it. What is it, Pete? To be grand, it needs to be 14 or more, did you
Exactly,
say?
yeah.
Is that right? Is that your definition of grand strategy?
It was a random spitballing definition, but yes, I'm standing by it as if it's gospel now.
Good.
Perfect.
Lovely.
So just short of grand strategy, but it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it does. I'm definitely going to get this one. Right, next one. I've clicked on the wrong tab. Terror of Hemasaurus?
Hemosaurus, yeah.
Hemosaurus.
You're close, yeah. You're doing well.
Thank you. Xbox is December 7th. This is a smash 'em up game. Yeah, really bad graphics. Looks terrible. But it came out in October on PC, and it's very positive. So
Yeah, I was just about to say that. It's got like 79 reviews.
Yep.
And they're positive.
It's a city smasher, isn't it? So it's a Godzilla fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Lovely.
But it's side-scrolling, right? So
Yes, and it does look terrible.
okay.
Please believe us, it does.
Let's move on to another terrible one. Is it Togs? Is that Togs?
That's what I've been assuming.
Yeah,
That's what I've been assuming as well.
Yeah, let's say Togs. Coming out on PC, PlayStations, Xboxes, and Switch. No, December 7th. It's across the whole board. This is like a colourful 3D puzzle platformer. So Ben would call it a survival game. But yeah, it doesn't. It looks fucking shocking. But what do you guys think?
I don't think it graphically looks fine, but it looks like you're one of those
This
Hoovers
looks
that
fine
that you're-
graphically to you.
Yeah, I think it looks fine, but you look like one of those like
So
the
you
Hoovers
have a
that are
go at
automated
Valheim,
Hoovers.
and you think this looks fine. Oh,
Yeah, because Valheim is a shocker to look at, but this looks fine.
But you
what
love the
are
sky.
you talking about? Yeah.
Great sky.
Do you get what I mean, though? Like,
Yeah, but this is the same guy who's loving fucking Pokemon Scarlet in its current form.
it's an absolute treat on the senses.
So is a fucking Toblerone. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, what artistic design? Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic survival game, Toblerone, you know. Ben's played it many times, yes.
I mean, regardless of all of this, I'm not interested in the game. So.
Right, okay, good.
So why are you defending it so bloody much?
There's 30 seconds we won't get back.
Yeah,
There we go.
Right, let's move on.
I'll edit it out.
Brilliant. Chained Echoes coming out on PC, PlayStations, Xboxes, and Switch, December 8th. Take up your sword, channel your magic, or board your mech. Chained Echoes is a 16-bit style RPG set in a fantasy world where dragons are as common as piloted mechanical suits. That's not a good reference, is it? Because we don't know if there's a lot of pilot mechanical suits, and we don't know if there's a lot of dragons.
There could be 0 of either, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be amazing if there was 0.
It's just 0. It was actually just a survival game.
That would be amazing.
They are equally as common. Neither of them. Yes.
Okay. Fine.
No, I mean this is retro Final Fantasy, isn't it?
Yeah, this is right up my street. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you
which-
said that, because I put Final Fantasy VII Combat, and I thought you guys were going to rip me for that. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, right up my street, definitely.
It's a Final Fantasy V combat, but yes, yeah.
Oh, I never played that one. Fuck off.
Fair.
I just jumped on the bandwagon when 7 came out. Alright? That's all I did.
Yeah, it's everyone's go-to, though, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Undeniably.
You guys going to play this one, you think?
No. Well, no. I said no. I say no because I have far too much to play to add this in now.
Yeah.
So it's something that later on down the line, it's not as if I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's a rainy day.
Yeah, realistically,
It's a
this
rainy
is
day.
never getting a look in.
Yeah, it's like to go off on a bit of a tangent. Tactics Ogre came out recently, and I've not even got a chance to play that yet. And that's in the similar vein, for being it's almost not being too pedantic.
Yeah.
So I do want to play it, but down the line.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, next one. Necro Bouncer. Are we onto that one? Yeah, that's the one we're
That's
onto.
the one.
Coming out PC December 8th. It's a top-down hack and slash roguelike with pixel graphics. There you go. If that's your kind of game, Necro Bouncer coming out on PC December 8th. Portal with RTX coming out on PC December 8th. That thing that no one asked for. It's literally Portal with ray tracing. So if you played Portal and went, this game is amazing, but I just fucking wish it had ray tracing.
Oh my God, I wish it had it.
Oh, why doesn't it have it?
If you dreamed of ray tracing before ray tracing was a thing,
Yes!
this is what you wanted.
Damn it! Oh.
There's some ineffable thing missing from this classic game that must be added a decade and a half later. Oh,
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so there you go. What you're
And
welcome.
yet this is still less of a money grab than remaking Last of Us.
Yeah, but which one's going to make more money?
Ooh,
What do you want?
that was a drive-by there. Just, God. God, Donnie, what have you got to say to that? Anyway, move on.
To be fair, he's fucking right. So I usually say it first.
I mean, this is literally free DLC.
Pretty much.
So, I mean, it could never be told. It could never be a money grab. It's literally the opposite of a money. Anyway, move on.
Next one, the Rumblefish 2, coming out on PC, PlayStations, Xboxes, and Switch, December 8th. It's a 2005 fighting game, which has been... I don't know what you call it, because it's been re-released already. So is this a re-released?
Yes.
Re-released? Yeah.
Great name.
The Rumblefish 2.
It needs something good about it. Cause
Ben knows it's a classic because it got a sequel. So
Yeah, absolutely. It must be all right.
I will also... I will say a warning as well. If you're going to buy it on PC, you need a controller. It does not support mouse and keyboard.
That's very odd.
Yeah. Oh, well. You never see that, do you?
oh no, is it? For a second I thought this was a PC only release, and I was like, what?
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Buy the game. Buy the game, open it. Okay, I can't even close it.
Right. Never mind.
Control Alt Delete. Fuck's sake.
Brilliant.
As it closes, it just flips you the middle finger on the screen as well.
Cheers for the money, bitches.
Right, next one. Witch on the Holy Night. PlayStation 4 and Switch, December 8th. First released in 2012 for PC. Witch on the Holy Night returns after 10 years. Further refined with fully voiced characters. Fucking hell, Ben. Fully voiced characters.
I knew you. I fucking knew you.
I wish Pokemon had that, eh?
Fucking
There you go.
knew you
So
were gonna
maybe
say that.
we just need 10-year delay of Pokemon
Look,
games.
when I saw this earlier, and then Pete said, "Oh, maybe you could cut this one," I knew you were going to say that.
To be fair, Eddie, you didn't finish it, but it also is a full HD remaster, which it sounds like Pokemon could use as well.
Yeah. Well, they can't even get the fucking basics right, so I don't know. Give them 10 years, they might be able to come up with something. Yeah. Anyone interested?
No.
Right. No. Good. Should have called it. Next one. Dragon Quest Treasures coming out on Switch December 9th. Eric and his sister Mia Mia. Mia sounds better. Mia live on a Viking longship, dreaming of the day they can explore the world in search of grand treasure. One night they encounter a pair of otherworldly creatures, Pocus and Priscilla. Oh, wow, I think I actually said that right. And are whisked away to a mysterious place known as Draconia, a legendary land full of treasures just waiting to be discovered. Fucking hell, I'm nailing these blurbs today. I'm pretty sure this blurb was blacked out. I'm pretty sure I blacked this out. So I think Pete's unblacked it out, thinking I was going to fuck up several times there.
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah, you little snake. I don't know what this is. I saw the trailer and read the descriptions. I still don't know what it is. And because it's Switch, it's impossible to find out what the fuck it is. So, do any of you guys...
I think it's a hybrid between Dragon Quest Builders and Dragon Quest.
Did you just lean in extra close to say that, Ben?
Sorry?
Did you just lean in extra close to correct that?
It's my time to shine, baby.
No, so I was putting my hand to my head. I was trying to remember what Dragon Quest Builders was called, so I probably leaned into the mic.
Yeah, it sounded like you were suddenly inside my head.
I was like, why? What is that game? Yeah, Dragon Quest Builders and Dragon Quest. I think it's like a hybrid between those two because Dragon Quest Builders was quite successful. We saw it in a Nintendo Direct, I think, many moons ago, and it looked quite good at the time. But that was probably because the Direct was shite and had nothing in it, so it looked better by comparison. Yeah, it's all right.
Okay.
Hold on. Will Ben play it? Because he's the only one who would, right?
No.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Right.
good to know.
If it was still turn based like it should be, then I maybe would have, but otherwise no.
Fair.
All right, fair enough. Next one, Jitsu Squad, coming out on PlayStation and Switch, December 9th. Jitsu Squad is a Marvel vs. Capcom inspired 4-player co-op tag team beat 'em up with epic character transformations and fast-paced combat. So as it says, it's a beat 'em up game. It came out on PC in March 2022, and it's very positive on Steam, which I can't believe that.
Yeah, I saw that as well, yeah.
Yeah, it looked to me like the visuals are terrible, the game mechanics are terrible, it's just fucking terrible. But you guys are going to speak positively about it.
No.
I will say they're terrible, but clean terrible. Not like
clean terrible. Yeah, they've got dark outlines of the terribleness. Yes.
Yeah, and sort of someone who's actively designed them to look like that rather than just working within.
They cleaned up the characters real nice. We'll give them that.
That's the biggest positive we can say about this game. Lovely.
Intended terrible. There we go. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Presumably it's piggybacking off the... Well, it's not piggybacking because it would take time to put together, but it will piggyback off the success of something like the new Turtles game.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Right, next one, Wavetail, coming out on PC, PlayStations, Xboxes, and Switch, December 12th. Surf the waters of a submerged city, unravel the past, save the islanders from the mysterious sea monsters, and discover secrets. Lots of S's in there, hidden under the surface. Good job I didn't have a big mouthful of phlegm there. This is a third-person action-adventure game. The music and visuals, dare I say it, look bloody charming. And love using that word. The travelling also reminds me a bit of Sonic. But I don't know, maybe that's just me. I think this game looks lovely. Oh, and there's a free demo. But let's hear what you guys think.
Visually, it looks beautiful.
It does, yeah.
It does. It really does. Yeah. I'm sure, correct me if I'm wrong, I think IGN has got like a 15-minute play of this up, I think.
Have they now?
Forgive me if I'm wrong. You can check, but I'm sure something in the back of my mind's telling me they did.
The art style
for
was
17 minutes. So you
very
fucked
good.
up there. But
apologies.
Yeah, no worries.
It gives me like Wind Waker kind
Yeah, I
of
thought
art
you
style
might say
vibes,
that.
and also that the sequel to Hyperlight Drifter, whether spiritual or actual sequel, the one that they released last year, it got that kind of visual style to it.
Yeah, well, this is it. This is from Thunderfall. So they did Curse the Golf Bin, for example.
Did they now?
Yeah, I think they might have only published that one, but they did that, and they also did Swordship, which we talked about last week or the week before.
Oh, I like that one. I like the look of that. Was the roguelike on the ship, the cartoony looking one, right?
Yeah.
I like that. I like the look of that.
But it definitely seems like they can do visuals. they can definitely do.
Yeah, the Planet of Lana, we've talked about that one as well.
We have.
It's going to come out next year, and that looks stunning as well, like visuals.
I mean, I think they also published Togs, but we'll move away from that bit.
They never miss.
Never miss. Bloody never miss those kids.
Fucking miss. So good. All right, let's move on to Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, coming out on PC, PlayStations, Xboxes, and Switch, December 13th. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion is a remaster of Crisis Core, featuring updated graphics, combat systems, and soundtrack. Follow the tale of soldier operative Jack Fair as he discovers the
Zach.
What did I say?
Jack.
Yeah. Did I say Jack?
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Oh, I like Jack better. Jack Fair as he discovers the secrets of Shinra's dark experiments. Shinra. Dark experiments.
Shinra off of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it just sounds a lot like Shinda's, and then it's Dark Experiments. I don't like that. It says it all in the blurb. It looks nice though. You guys, you're the Final Fantasies.
Yeah, this is my Christmas.
Yeah,
this is if as long as Square Enix don't fuck Craig over, I'll be doing the review for it as well. So I'm all over it. So for me, this is just right up my street.
It looks like it's gonna be amazing, doesn't it? Visually, it looks fantastic, right?
Yeah, all over it.
Yeah, cool.
Pete, I'm thinking you might be all over this as well, right?
I'm thinking it's 40 quid, buddy.
There it is.
This is one of those. It's on my wish list. I will pick it up on a sale at some stage, I imagine.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Look at Donnie over there sitting in his towel with his codes.
I know.
Ben, you used to get us codes.
Yeah, I can't be arsed now because I
can't be
sound like a
arsed.
fucking. Yeah, because we got like a couple of big games, but I was like, I'm emailing people and it's a fucking back and forth, and it's like, oh please, can I have another code? It's fucking hell.
Listen,
fuck's sake.
You peasants pipe down, right?
To be fair, if Ben's a peasant, I don't know why I am, because I'm the one that goes, Ben, can you get me a code for this? So I'm lower than peasantry. Fuck.
We're literally begging Oliver Twist for a random code.
Please, sir, can I have a code?
I don't know why you're asking me.
All right, last one of the week, High on Life, coming out on PC and only next-gen Xbox.
No, it can't be.
Xbox Series X. S and X. Sorry. My bad. There's a big S there. December 13th. That's good, because I don't have a fucking X. From the mind of Justin Roiland. Is that the guy that does...
it's Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty? Right, yeah. Comes High on Life. Humanity is being threatened by alien cartel who wants to use them as drugs. It's up to you to rescue and partner with charismatic talking guns, take down Garmantuous and his gang, and save the world. I've put the Rick and Morty game, but obviously Justin running that kind of explains that already. We've seen quite a bit of this game, and I think it looks fucking great. Kirk, I know, is very much looking forward to this game. I think he's going to buy it. What do you guys think?
It's on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm. Because see if it wasn't on Game Pass, it would sell about 14 copies.
Yes, it would die. It would die very quick and efficient death.
It would, yeah. It's got Gotham Knights written all over it.
Yes. Did you see that they did a gameplay thing of it at some awards thing, and they showed the most boring boss battle in the world?
Yes.
It's like, you have not sold it there, buddy. You've not done what you think you've done.
Yeah, just look. It did not look good. I'll give you that.
I think it's one of these games that, like, I think it looks quite cool, looks quite good. To me, it looks a bit Game Pass foddery. I'm not really interested. It's not going to hold me. I'm not going to complete the game, even if I try it. But
I think this is one of those. So much hinges on the writing. So much hinges on the writing. Mm-hmm. Like the cool, quirky art style and the rest of it. Yeah, that'll keep you going for about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
that's the length of an episode of Rick and Morty. And then if the writing is not insanely good, I think you'll put it down.
It's so hard to walk the right line with this, though, because you're either going to fall on the that's annoying writing or this is hilarious.
Yes.
Like I don't know if there's going to be much of a middle ground on it, and it seems like a hard line to walk.
Yeah, but it's on Game Pass, so you can try it and not really worry about it.
It's on Game Pass, yeah.
I probably will try it.
Yeah, I think I will as well. That's it for Game of the Week. And my pick of the week is... It's going to be controversial because there are some good games there, but it's going to be Ixion. I think I'm really, really going to like that game.
I'm glad you picked it.
Yeah. There you go. But another good week. Happy with that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, another good week as we go through to the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was just loads of stuff, but not much was very good. But yeah, fair enough. Let's frame it as good. Nice. Moving on to what we've been playing.
Right. I'll start us off then. I'll start us off with Marvel Midnight Suns.
Yes.
As we said earlier,
full comprehensive review.
It's full comprehensive review, absolutely. I played about 3 hours, so it's certainly not anything like that. It's a fucking long game, guys. I think I've read between 40 and 90 hours, but I think your average playthrough is like 60 hours. So this is an actual commitment. I've just started it just to see what it's like, and I was just go from there if I liked it, but whatever. When I kind of turned this on, I didn't really know what to expect, so I was actually waiting for Callisto Protocol to come through the post. It didn't, and this did. So this is why it was played before Callisto Protocol. I was like, right, okay, I'll give it a try. And I was a bit disappointed. I was like, okay, right, play this. Actually, from the off, I was like, oh, this is a lot. I don't know what I was expecting, but this is a lot better than whatever I was expecting. It does have a quality to it, one thing that I realised straight off the bat was, there is no Switch version for this game. There was supposed to be, and I think it's got a heavy delay, and I'm fucking not surprised. Yeah. I don't know how this is going to get on the Switch. I thought from original trailers and things, I was like, okay, it's just going to be a little turn-based XCOM quite type game that'll fit on the Switch. But this is much better. The quality is much better than I expected. As I said, it is a turn-based game. It's that XCOM style kind of combat, but the differentiator is this card system, and Lord knows I love a card system. So that the cards kind of determine what moves you can play. You go into battle with a couple of characters, and each character has their own partial deck, which combines to get your full deck that you take into the mission. Draw cards at random, and then you see what you've got. And each turn you get more cards. Blah blah blah. Standard kind of card-based action, as you'd imagine. And as you progress through the games, you get more heroes given to you. You level up your characters that you're playing with and choosing. Some missions are determined by your characters you have to take in, but other times you get to like mold your team as you go through. You get better cards. You upgrade the cards. You build the deck individually for the characters that you like. That type of stuff. It's all kind of the stuff that you imagine. It's just all in there. It's all quite obvious. The way that they hook you straight away is that they do the opening intro and then they say, now here's the story and you've got your own character. And so suddenly they just pull you in by having like, oh, this is your character and you're developing this person up from scratch. And I think it's a great way to go with this, that you put yourself in that kind of Marvel world. Another thing that I was not expecting was the diversity of the cast of Marvel characters. I didn't realize like Iron Man was going to be in it. When I originally saw the cast, I thought it was like Blade.
All the B guys that no one cares about.
Absolutely. But then when you start, it's like Iron Man, and then Spider-Man kind of turns up, and you're like, oh right, okay, this is actually pretty cool. And the voice acting, obviously it's not Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, but they've got voice actors who, when they're in the battles, that they sound like the Marvel person. They've done it quite well, I think. And like Blade looks very much like Wesley Snipes and sounds very similar. Like they've done what they can with that type of stuff. And I think Doctor Strange as well, the mannerisms, they've done what they can to make it different, but still allow you to be in that kind of immersion with it. Yeah. The way that it kind of shines off the bat is definitely the battles, though. The animations are excellent. The combat feels quite meaty and impactful when you're playing these. Just how they've done the systems, it seems quite deep. They're introducing new mechanics, and actually, like, you are pleased when you get a particular attack and you take people down strategically. You're like, this is pretty fucking cool. And then outside of the battles is they've got several aspects of this game, one being the battles, and that's the one they have to get really right. But then a part that I did not expect was they have a full kind of third-person roaming thing when you're in like a hub area, and it's an abbey where all the Midnight Suns, the Marvel heroes that you've got, all kind of congregate, and it's got that Mass Effect feel to it.
Okay, yep.
Which is cool. You go around speaking, and you're actually interested in seeing what's going on in the story, and there's loads of different areas where they're introducing new mechanics for fucking everything that I don't understand, like upgrading cards and all these things over here and all this whatever. But it's also got this feeling of like a frat house, so I don't know how that would work long term, and whether you just get annoyed with this nonsense area, or whether it does have this like continual in between missions wanting to interact with characters.
I'll chime in there. Worth a Buy thinks it's fucking horrendous. He says he spends more time in that stupid area, and he says the only good bit of it is there's an area where you can unlock new cards, and obviously that helps you out a lot in the mission.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, it's like unlocking new cards, there's upgrading new cards, and I think it's like they're all like the quality of life things that you wouldn't mind just being in menus, but they've tried to pull out into. They're trying to add immersion to it, and I'm not mad at it. They're trying to add immersion to it. I think over time, because you have to hang out with the individuals and things like that.
You know what, Ben? I know this sounds weird, but Worth a Buy, who I respect massively, absolutely stated it. But I need things like that out of the game. Like playing XCOM, my favourite bit was outside of the battles. You know, like trying to like unlock certain things, or maybe looking at my mate's stats and stuff. That's the kind of stuff that makes me play these kind of games. It's actually the outside of it.
I think you're right as well, and it also like makes you, when you're building a team, and it's like you're seeing the individual characters and you're talking to them, and it's nothing particularly. Yeah. It's not grand in any way, but you can speak to them. You can, and depending on your answers, get different like friendship points or whatever, and things like that. So there is a reason for it. I think it just does add to the immersion, even if it could get slightly annoying. Now, for a 60-hour game, it might get very annoying, but there is something to it. I mean, the hours that I played, they were introducing new mechanics all the time. It was very much tutorial, moving into the battles, and I actually only played like a handful of battles in that time, because most of it is outside of that in the story, and I think that could get annoying. But then I imagine when it opens up, it is just battle. You can just do mission. So I have really kind of high hopes for this one. I never expected to actually like it. I was kind of trying it just so we'd have something extra to talk about today. But it does seem really deep. And this was my girlfriend's copy of the game.
There we go. I wondered
so
how
I
all
didn't
this
buy it.
started. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Okay.
Yeah,
Callisto Protocol didn't show up. You nicked your girlfriend's game to talk about.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
You've got it. You got it, buddy. You got it. Now, when this, I really hope that she likes this. Actually, I actually think she will like it. And if she does, I might. No, she hasn't played it. No. I've still got it in front of me. I got it in front of me right here.
She really wants to, but she just can't.
I saw her earlier, and I didn't take it round actually. So that's never issue.
So you've even taken it. Oh wow, yeah, you're a monster.
Yeah. I might have to buy a separate version, because I think this could be my Christmas game. I really think it could be.
Wow, nice.
I mean, to be fair, Ben, it's quite something that your missus is the only person in the world who bought this game. So that's quite cool as well.
Hey, don't you start.
If it wasn't going to be Ben, we knew it was going to be someone.
It's got good reviews, though. It's got really good reviews.
It actually has, to be fair. I'm just ragging on it. Actually, I think but it's mid-80s, is it not? Like 84?
Yeah, mid-80s, and some respected play. Like God is a Geek gave it 95.
Are you guys?
Wow.
Are you guys working off review scores here? That's
nice.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Lord knows I love a review score.
What I found quite interesting was the fact that the time window is between 40 and 90 hours. Like, how have you got a 50-hour swing?
I know, man.
If you're bad at the game, that's it's like
really.
I think it's probably I can only imagine.
A massive swing.
There's a lot of side. I imagine there's a lot of side stuff, but also like the amount of filler in time, like to do one small mission takes time.
Yeah.
And you don't think it would, but it fucking does. So I can see how it could rack up, because I quickly put a couple of hours into this, like no problem. Like it just raced away. So yeah, but I'm really liking the look of it. I like it on PS5 because I think this could be one that I stream to the Steam Deck and play on the sofa.
Oh, nice.
You've also, by talking about the length of time given there, 40 to 90, you've made me realise that Elden Ring is a 4-minute to 100-hour game. If we go by the quickest speedrun.
Nice.
So it's it's either 4 minutes or anywhere up to 100 hours.
Yeah, that's how you start the Elden Ring review.
Yeah.
Are we sure that 4 minutes not the rage quit in the tutorial though? Because I know 2 people that have done that, by the way.
That is how you speedrun that game. Is you pick it up, take 2 minutes ago. Nah,
and you put the controller down. Done.
This is all I need from this. Fair point. Well, no, I'm glad you played a game, Ben, because I pretty much didn't this week. Between Warcraft, RimWorld, and a bit more of Dune Spice Wars, that's pretty much all I've done. And I suppose the only thing I'd add to Dune Spice Wars from last week is something we already know is coming, which is multiplayer, which will be in the final release, apparently. And that, I think I've come to realise, is going to be amazing for this. Because I mentioned last week the only problem I have is that it's short main campaign. But think about, like, you can do it in 2 hours. You can do a full game in 2 hours if you played on the highest
you need
speed.
some ranked multiplayer, don't you?
Exactly, yeah. That could actually be a really, really good angle for this. And even on normal speed, you're looking at 4 hours, which is still feasible for a multiplayer game because you can save and come back. So I think that could make this a really, really good addition to, like, strategy gaming generally.
Really good. Nice.
Yeah, but that was the main thing. Other than that, I'm playing RimWorld because I've got new mods. So,
cool.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Cool. Eddie, I'm guessing you've played loads, right?
Nice. Because I literally told you right before this podcast I've been playing RimWorld.
Yes,
Nice.
yes, you did.
Yeah, I've been playing the shit out of RimWorld. Do you know why? I think it's because I know that I'm going to my parents this week, and I'm up there for 3 weeks or so. So I'm kind of prepping myself to play games that take a lot of time. Because else I'll have to spend time with my family.
Yes.
The worst. That's the worst, isn't it?
The worst punishment.
Your dad listens to this podcast.
He did, and he will comment, yes. So I've been playing that. I've been playing a hell of a lot of DMZ, haven't I, Ben, and Warzone 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which has been great fun. I am not losing interest in that game, and it's really quite worrying. I'm actually really worried because I've started playing Warzone on my PC, and I can't take my whole PC up to my parents, can I?
Yeah, you have started playing PC, haven't you?
Thing? Can I do
He's
that?
got a mouse and keyboard for us.
A mouse and keyboard boy now, so...
Jesus. Keyboard wankers alert, Jesus.
Yeah. He's a sniper.
PC
He's a
Master Race
sniper.
is the-
I think
no
I'm
way.
better on controller, if I'm being honest, but yeah.
Not as a sniper, though.
Yeah, sniping with a mouse and keyboard, my God.
But you're getting frustrated that you don't get kills sniping. You're just teaming
Oh,
us
yeah,
up.
fucking 2,000 damage, 0 kills. That's the... Fucking hell. You know, if Jack was the sniper and he got down, everyone rush! Everyone rush! Just eliminate the kill! But yeah, I've also, you know what, I've started playing Tinykins.
Good.
Because people keep on talking about how good it is. And I've got to admit, I'm really, really enjoying it. It's almost like I'm already comparing it to It Takes Two, and I'm already thinking it's a better game than that. I know that won Game of the Year last year.
It's a very low hurdle to jump through.
Oh, of course, Game of the Year, Pete. It's current Game of the Year winner. I mean, what do you want? I'm particularly really liking the graphics. Have you seen the graphics of the game?
Yeah,
It's
yes,
really
lovely.
nicely done. So, yeah, I'm about an hour deep on that, but I'll tell you about it next week. I think it's a good game that I'm actually going to try and get my parents to play. So, I think
Makes
that'll be
sense that
quite
you're playing
fun.
it now as well. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, why not?
Good stuff. Should we move on to the big one of the week then?
We probably should.
Excited.
So we were going to... we've been thinking about getting Donnie on the podcast for a number of weeks now, but this seemed like a perfect time to get you involved because you are actually reviewing this for Pure Dead Gaming, aren't you?
Yes.
And you don't like these games, right?
Well, the thing is, right, I'm not going to lie, I'm a massive shite bag when it comes to scary games, and not my cup of tea. And Craig, over on Pure Dead Gaming, knew that and thought, do you know what? All the free games I give you, Donnie, fuck you. You're going to play a game you don't like. So
Excellent.
he's clearly punishing me. And so, yes, so I've been playing that, and it's... What I would say about Callisto Protocol is it's a tale of two halves. The first half of it is a struggle. It's a struggle. And The second half gets a little bit better. But for me, the common complaints, I have to agree with.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I know me and you, Ben, are kind of opposites on this.
Yeah, I mean, this is divisive. This game is divisive. There's no doubt about it. Like, a lot of what I see, because we're on Twitter a lot.
Let's not talk about reviews until we get to the feature.
No, we're on Twitter a lot, and there's a lot of I'd say negativity towards this on Twitter, but there's also a lot of people backing it, so it's quite divisive.
Yes.
And I'm very much aware that recently my views on a few games have been counter to the general opinion that you'd hear on some things like God of War and things like that. But I'm in the complete opposite camp to you. I absolutely love Callisto Protocol. I think it's excellent. I mean, where I'm at in the game, I don't know if you've finished it or near completion. I think I'm probably about 75% through.
I'm about the same.
Okay. Yeah. I think we're probably about the same place. Yeah. And I hear a lot of the criticism, and we'll go through this, and we'll start from the beginning, and we'll get there. But I hear a lot of the criticism, and we'll talk about that. So Callisto Protocol, for those that don't know, is an action horror game with a focus on action, and very much. And the hype was very much like it was Dead Space.
Yes, it's Dead Space.
It's Dead Space.
Well, and a lot of people have been saying, well, actually, it's not like Dead Space. But I am firmly in the camp that it is very similar to Dead Space in a lot of ways. But from the outset, the visuals, I think we can probably both agree on this. I changed it. Yeah, I changed it to performance mode straight away. Like,
oh god, yeah.
Yeah, like change it to performance mode because, and get rid of that film. Like grain and the motion blur and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you got to put in performance mode. We're not savages, so it's performance
exactly. You got to have that high frame rate. You got to do that. I'm playing on PS5, and I think it looks absolutely brilliant. Like really, really good. We've always said before, and I think Dead Space still holds up to this day because of the corridor kind of horror atmosphere. It's almost easier to make it look spectacular, and they do achieve that. And the character models are
brilliant.
They're really, really good. The story itself is very Dead Space as well. This doesn't help if you haven't played Dead Space.
Which shock horror, I haven't. On account of being a massive shite bag.
So it's not at all like Dead Space for you then. Okay, right.
Yeah, nothing like it. This is a walk in the park.
Basically, some shit goes down. You're in a prison on this space kind of planet, and you've got to escape. You've got to escape.
You mentioned story there. It's a little bit light on story, we shall say.
Yes, but
great use of "we" there. Great use of "we."
But in its this, I see this as like a spiritual. Not, I don't know if success is the right word, but something that's going side by side with something like Dead Space. This is going to be very annoying as we go through, but it is so similar in terms of its story delivery. Like there's a person helping you through, just like Dead Space. It's almost identical in its delivery of the story.
It's almost like the people who made Dead Space made a new game.
Yeah, absolutely. And they went, that worked, and
we like that.
They've just done it again. Wow. Very, very standard. But I would say that I actually really like the story and I like the characters, but I don't know how that's come over to you. But I'm fully in on it.
No, it's just the fact that like you wake up in this prison cell, and obviously the prison's turned to shit, and it's almost like it's been like that for weeks because there's like growth, and I'm like, but so when did all that happen? How long will I sleep for? It was all just a little bit too convenient.
Yes,
and then I've got to the point where there's a little bit of not a twist in the story, but it was obviously going to happen. And it was just like, saw that coming a mile away. When they tried to escape, I won't go. In case you're not where I am, I won't go. I won't say any more. I
imagine I'm similar, but I think what I would say, and the direct comparison, I recently played Dead Space 2 on stream, and somebody watching said when we were near the end, no fucking idea what's going on with the story. It's like, it's, and I know you shouldn't necessarily be making this comparison, but everybody holds Dead Space, including myself, on this massive pedestal. I go, that's really good. That is what these games, that is pretty much up there for what these types of games should be. This is just delivering the same.
Yeah.
It's not breaking any mold. It's just delivering the same. And if we were happy with that, we should be happy with this, is kind of the way I'm looking at it. But that's not necessarily the case. But, I just, for that comparison.
Yeah.
But the main, I suppose, the main highlight, the main focus, I think, is a lot of what people talk about, and also the game itself is the combat. So it immediately differentiates itself from something like Dead Space, which is very gun focused. Like Dead Space is cycling through guns, getting different blueprints, all this kind of stuff. You do get different schematics as you go through to get extra weapons, but the main focus is melee. And it's not got a timing based dodge system. It's more of a leaning system. You just have to be leaning out the way. It's all about timing, being in the right place, movement patterns of enemies, and knowing when to attack. And different enemies have different movement patterns. And positioning of where you are is incredibly important, like having your back against the wall when there's multiple enemies, all that kind of stuff. Now, this is where a lot of the criticism has been. Now, this melee combat, I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great way to differentiate themselves. I also think that on a one-on-one fight, it's really cool. Now, what a lot of people are saying, and I'd love to hear your kind of thoughts on this, is that people are saying that it's almost cheap, that when there are multiple enemies and there are some behind you, that you can't see what's coming for you. The game doesn't allow you to really twist and do a 180 and all this kind of stuff, and it just doesn't work with multiple enemies. Yeah,
because you can't lock on, so you can't specifically target an enemy unless the game dictates it, which is usually the one closest to you. But if you're, like you said, if you're surrounded in any way, it's game over. There's no getting out of it. And the problem is that essentially your combat is effectively spamming R2. That's basically all you're doing. And
some R1.
Hi, a little bit of R1 when it helps, but we're just kind of spamming it until we get that indicator to fire your gun quickly. If you're quick enough on the trigger, and it's frustrating. You're right. See, when you're one-on-one, particularly if you've got an enemy coming towards you and there's a trap you can throw them into, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's wicked.
And it means you can take down tough enemies instantly because it's an instant death.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's it. I must admit that I do like. That's probably a fact that the glove thing you get is probably the best part of the game. In truth,
so you get a glove that allows you to gravity pull enemies and hold them, and then you can throw them, and you can upgrade that and all that kind of stuff. And it's that's pretty cool to get you out of some tough spots. A lot of people are saying this is bad design of the game, the whole combat situation that with multiple enemies. Now, I must say that it doesn't happen that often. Oftentimes, the max that you'd really fight with 2 to 3. Sometimes there are more, and you'll die. But then, I've never had to redo a section more than once. Immediately work out. You've worked out attack. Okay, I'll come back to the wall. I bait that one in. That one comes first. I back against the wall. Nothing's behind me. Right, I can do this, that, the other. I think I see it as a design choice. It's not like they wouldn't have noticed this in design or QA. It's not like it's a thing that they would have just ignored, I don't think. And you are, more than anything, like in Dead Space when you're just an engineer or what have you, you are just a pilot. You're just a man. You're not an assassin. You're vulnerable. You come up against 5 enemies. Yeah, if that happens, then you are in a hard spot. You make it through, you feel amazing. But if you were in a real fight, if the fight, you get sucker punched. Yeah, it happens. I mean, it's almost like people expect that you should be able to not take any damage, and the game has to be fair. Why does it have to be fair?
No, but I think having some form, at least have some form of lock on, would be a major advantage. Because then you're choosing who you want to attack, whereas the game's deciding to you. So I know you're saying you're just a man, but at least a man can make a choice to.
I think the lock on kind of moves the I am so immersed in this game. I'm playing headphones. I'm playing in the dark whenever I can as well. I feel so immersed. Things
is that just to save on bills though, Ben?
Yeah, it might be because I haven't got the heating on either. It's fucking freezing in here.
I bet, yeah.
but it almost I love that the immersion is kept up through and through, and that's one of the things. There's not a lock on, and it does feel like the combat. People are saying it's slow, and I think it's heavy and methodical. I am actually almost likening this to old school Dark Souls. Like
it's very weighty. Everything you do has got weight and pull behind it.
Yeah, and you have to. And what you're doing is so, and you can no hit. You can come across 3 enemies and no hit them if they're all in front of you and all this kind of stuff. If something does slip behind you, then that's your fault.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. That's how I'm viewing it, and I haven't had a problem with it, and I really like that aspect. I like that it's not fair. I like that it's a real fight. Like it's that it's. I think they're trying to keep the immersion in general in the game is like the atmosphere is amazing. The audio design,
it's creepy as fuck.
It's wonderful. I personally like the fact that there are no puzzles and anything like that. It just keeps the immersion going. It's just this is the game.
Yeah. Too many puzzles is a nightmare. I think we all agree on that, and there's been a lot of comment about Ragnarok and puzzles obviously of late. But my big issue I have in this game, I feel as though you just go corridor, enemy, corridor, enemy, corridor, enemy, corridor, enemy. And that's effective.
That's more of a comment on the. That's more of the comment on the genre, I think.
Yeah, and so that's a negative as well. Don't get me wrong, the designs are lovely. You're never in the same corridor twice. So it's all, there's a lot of variety in design and style, but that's all it kind of is. And maybe I just wanted a little bit more. Maybe that's where sometimes actually puzzles aren't the worst because they do help with pacing, as opposed to just going through the same type of corridor over and over again.
Yeah, maybe it's just different expectation of what the
of course.
game, because I came into this thinking this is going to be like Dead Space. I think this is exactly what I expected, and it's delivering right on that. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's missing a mark for me. Like I don't know, like a lot of the comments that I'm hearing, and we're discussing them now, and I get exactly what you're saying. I understand, and I can feel it. A lot of the people that on the internet just seem to be saying maybe not have even played the game, and they're kind of agreeing with what people are saying about the combat. I do think there's another argument or another side to what people are saying. It's not just this is bad. It's more like this is design.
Do we feel, guys, that we could sort of roll into the feature with this? Because then you can talk about the feedback a bit.
Yeah, we'll move on to that in a second. Mm-hmm. Then I think that's probably a good idea. I mean, the take home from this is I actually think that this might go down as a bit of a cult classic, and it might go down that Alien Isolation route, where at the time people would say, okay, this is okay, but actually it turns out to be a bit of a classic.
Yeah. Wait. Just what I would say as well, I did say it's a tale of two halves. The second half of the game does pick up, once you pick up your spacesuit that you see obviously in the on the front cover. It does pick up then, because you then get a bigger inventory, which, believe me, you fucking need in this game.
Yeah, but that's the inventory stuff. Like Resident Evil is like that. Like Dead Space is like that. Like that's classic survival horror.
You didn't like the last Resident Evil.
No, shit. The last Resident Evil shit. It was garbage. Hot garbage.
And the game then introduces you to a new type of enemy that's very much kind of borrowed from The Last of Us. The enemies can't see; it's all by sound, and that's where you can finally use the stealth mechanic that they introduced. That's been fucking useless up until now.
Yeah, you never use it, right?
It's horrendous, yeah. But you use it now. Fucking hell, you need to. So the game definitely has, and I must admit, there was a time last night where I was close to going, fuck you, Craig, I'm not playing anymore. And I rage quit.
Really?
And you said, yeah. And then, do you know what? And then today, I put my big boy pants on and went, do you know what? Fucking grow up a little bit. And I sat this afternoon and got past that hurdle, got the suit. And then now I'm thinking, yeah, it's definitely improved.
Honestly.
And I'm enjoying this half more.
Honestly, I love this game. I think it is brilliant.
I can tell you do, because you're fighting me on fucking everything here.
Ben would do that anyway. But
I'm trying to hold back a little bit because I just it's almost like I'm not really engaging on Twitter or anything on it, because I just think there's no real point, because a lot of the people are calling negative things that people are calling negatives, I'm kind of agreeing with, but I'm not saying they're negative. So it's a bit weird, but I'm just I'm thoroughly enjoying this. Like I can't wait to play it more. It's fantastic.
But that's a good thing, though. That's a good
So yeah,
thing.
absolutely, and it's different. It just goes. We've been saying it for weeks now. Like, it really is dependent on your taste. Like, games aren't
Tastes and
universally good or
choice,
bad.
yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
some of them
But
are just
as well,
different.
you think this game is good, and it's got a 74 rating, and you think
Yes.
it's good,
Right.
which segues nicely into a
Nice.
feature.
It really
He's
does.
a true
because
grumpy gamer.
I actually wanted to go beyond just that. It's a 74 on PC. It's a 77 on PlayStation. And
Okay.
it's a 71 on Xbox. But
Yes,
on
yes,
all
yes.
three of them, the user scores are lower than that.
Why?
Just to set it up, just to give us a little idea. So I suppose we should add on to why we're talking about review scores and sort of the overhaul, because I think the idea for it started with an interaction on Twitter, didn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, this is something that's been an issue for me for a long, long time, but it's became prevalent, especially in the last 2 months. At least it's Gotham Knights. I noticed it more, and certainly in the last week with Callisto, and that is perceptions of review scores and why there's an issue. In my opinion, there's an issue with them and how people are perceiving what a score means or dictating their purchasing around scores that aren't 8s, 9s, 10s. Yeah. In particular, that sort of middle ground of the sort of 70 seems to be the one. And yeah, this is now kind of becoming kind of a good talking point, actually. So here we are.
Yes, yeah, I completely agree with that. Go on, was that you, Ben?
No, I'm in agreement with what Donnie's saying, and it's just it's interesting to kind
First
of
time in half an hour. Okay, yeah.
I think it's interesting to first kind of like look at what we're saying is the scale, because this is the common thing that people are talking about in terms of how much of the scale is actually used.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, basically, I can outline my issue pretty quickly in that.
Yeah.
I'm sick of seeing scores like a 75, 74, and people are saying that's not a good score. Now, you can literally pass the medical exam on a 75% and fucking treat a fucking brain injury, but suddenly 75 isn't a good score on a fucking video game. Come on. And numerous times in the last 2 months, I've seen people cancel pre-orders because of a 75, and people say, I'm not buying that game now because of a 75. So for me, the problem isn't really the score, it's the perception of what the score means. And we need to stop saying anything below an 8 or an 80 is a bad score. Because literally, by definition, a 50 is average, by very definition. Yeah. So if you're above a 50, you're above average straight away.
But it's not by definition. Like, if you look at the review scores as the scale is currently used, I think we talked about this. I think the scale is about 4 to 10. Anything below 4 is the same as a 4 in people's mind. Like, it's just nonsense. It's crap. Yeah. So it's like the average is around about 70.
So you think the scores need to change more than anything then?
I don't think they do need to change, because I'm of the opinion that most people recognise that a 70 is around about an average, just above average game.
Yeah. I think people recognise that, but I think they recognise it because that's the way everyone has been doing it for the past 20 years.
100%.
But there lies the problem.
Yes, absolutely.
But is that a problem?
Because 70 is not average.
Can I? Yeah, right. I'm going to say, Ben, because you defended the other day when we said like a 10 out of 10 game is fine to say it's 10 out of 10, and that's what pisses me off, because there is like the difference between a 90 and 100 game is nothing in those. If 50 was average, then a 90 game is actual genius. It's brilliant. And that's what I like. I don't want to see fucking Bayonetta 3 and seeing a near perfection game. I want to see an actual realistic game. So when there is an actual game like Skyrim, I mean, I can't think of many others that I think is close to perfection. I want to see a 95 branded on there and go, holy fucking shit, that's incredible.
I suppose my answer to that would be, you've got 30 points between 70 and 100.
Well, let's stretch this a little bit.
So you're just adding
further.
that to 50, like making that 50. It doesn't. I don't think that's the problem here. I think it's
No. Let's stretch this a little bit further, because Balan Wonderworld, for instance, has a 51 on Metacritic. So we can assume that it never ever goes lower than 51. because that's just not possible, right? If Balan Wonderworld got that.
Well, we don't know. None of us have played it because of the review scores.
Exactly, yes. But we can assume that's about as low as it goes, and we know it goes all the way to 100.
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
On a scale of 100, we're using half of it.
Yeah, but we're using 50
ridiculous.
points. No, but it's not 50 points. There's a lot of degree of separation in 50.
But why not
points.
do it? Yeah, but we're also just ignoring that 50 points exist. I don't understand why you'd ever do that.
Well, why don't you make it 120? Why don't you make it 150? Why don't you make
Well,
it...
I think it's probably because it's like 100's easy because it's percentages, I guess. That's probably why people use 100.
Yeah.
The argument is they should actually change it to a 5-point scale and take a lot of this fluffy middle ground out.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then there's even less degree of separation, so you just get a load of 5 out of 10s. 5 out of 5, sorry.
No, no, you won't. I don't think you will. But I think what you'll get is you'll get a more balance between something being a 3 out of 10 being genuinely just above average, which is, again, by definition, that's what you want to see. You want things to reflect.
That's fair enough. I understand what you're saying there.
There's also less attached to a 3 out of 5. Like if you see something's
Agreed.
3 stars out of 5, you go, well, that's if I wanted to see it, I'll go see it anyway.
But if you gave a 60, you'd be like, ugh.
But that
that's
3 out of 5 or a 70 in this, for me, if I see anything in the 70s, if I wanted to play it, I'm going to play it. That's kind of how I have to approach this system. If I see anything below a 70, you do start to worry, but you wouldn't with a 3-star rating.
Yes.
But just, I mean, like here's 6 examples of sort of 70 scores. Wolfenstein: The New Order, Jedi Fallen Order, and Prey are all 79. The Evil Within's a 75, Dying Light 74, and poor old Days Gone 71. That's in today's perception. I'm not buying them.
Days Gone 71.
I think that's kind of fair. I mean, Days Gone does seem really low, and that doesn't seem right.
But remember how it launched, though, it was a buggy mess. That's why.
Yeah, and so therefore it's going to have that level. So maybe that's a bit misleading.
Well,
but
I think
the other ones, I think
they're
full fair. But the thing is about reviews, and how do you guys view review? Are you guys invested in review scores?
No, but I think as a community we are. So we're all part of that.
I think that's a fair judgment. I generally, much like Eddie, I think, get my reviews from YouTube more than anywhere. So I don't go by the score, I go by the actual comments. You see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Because sometimes when you see negative or mixed on Steam, and then you look at them, and it's all it's because it had bugs on day one. Oh well, I'm buying this 4 years later because it's on a 75% sale. So I don't give a fuck.
I think for your games on Steam, Eddie, that makes sense. I think for the larger games, a lot of people say like, they say this statement of, reviews don't matter. I don't care about reviews. I play it and I make my own opinion. So I'm sorry, like no. Reviews out there like Metacritic, it's a combination of all these things which just says for the average gamer this is likely to be an average game or slightly above it. If you understand the scale, we all agreed that scale, we understood what that was at. I don't understand why some people do say that I don't pay attention to review scores. All right, well you just buy a load of shit games then. That is like, we haven't got infinite money and we haven't got infinite time. So therefore, I must use review scores. And therefore, I also subscribe to some people who... you mentioned about the cancelling of pre-orders before, Donnie, and I kind of get it. Again, don't have infinite money, don't have infinite time. I kind of get if somebody was just going, right, I want to play the very best games. Mm-hmm. If that is their degree, if that's their method of choosing games, then I can kind of get behind it. Like, it didn't, for the average gamer, it's probably, so I'm just going to skip it.
Yeah, but the point here is that you've gone to the hassle of pre-order games, so you clearly want that game, and you've cancelled it because it's a 75. See, if it was a 45, fucking right, cancel it. Burn the game to the ground. But don't cancel because it's got a 75, and that's the point.
That is a pretty extreme response, isn't it? Yeah.
Because you've deemed that game worthy of your money, that you're going to the hassle of pre-ordering it, and now you go 75, you're turning your nose up at 75.
I don't know, like, because let's say you are like, I want to play great games, and you go, by the balance of probabilities, this is not going to be a great game for me. Now, we've seen with Callisto Protocol, I think it's wonderful. So, the Metacritic doesn't work for me, but on the balance of probabilities, it would. Like, usually it's going to be there or thereabouts, unless it's a particular genre I know I value higher. But if you're just the average gamer, averagely going through things, I'm perfectly down with somebody saying, okay, 75, that's not there for me, even though you were before the review came out.
This, by the way, is where I found it interesting. I mentioned earlier I looked up Callisto Protocol on all 3 consoles on here.
Yeah.
What I really like is that on one of them, where it's a 77, it's highlighted in green. And then where it's a 74, it's a yellow.
Yes,
And
because below 75 is mixed.
Yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, this is a problem as well. Yeah, below 75 on Metacritic is mixed.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's, and we see it on Steam as well, where you have, and the one thing I think Steam do brilliantly, by the way, is adding in the recent reviews.
Yes.
So especially for those of us who are doing backlog games, you see that it was heavily mixed, and then it's like recently very positive, and you're like, okay, I can probably forget the thousands at the beginning where it had fur all over the characters or whatever. And I think while we are all tied up in the community as well, you've got to remember that we are not the average gamer. For one thing, we're taking 2+ hours out on a Monday night to record a bloody podcast about it.
Yeah.
That's not the average gamer. So I do get what you're saying, Ben, that for the average, it is giving a useful reflection in a sense. But I don't know. I mean, look at those games you just discussed that are all in the 70s and think the differences between like Days Gone and Jedi Fallen Order. I don't really think that's a valid separation there. And it's where we come back to should it be scored differently. At the beginning, we were talking about maybe using the whole of the 100. Partway through, we go to 5 stars potentially, or out of 5. Would that make a difference for us? Would we see a beneficial gain from that?
Again, I think, Pete, you've hit the nail on the head with the average gamer who they're not invested in this like we are. Now, you see some reviewers that have a different scale of like, almost like the rent, buy or skip kind of thing.
Yeah. Wait for sale, buy it.
But that requires you to be like Eddie, doing hours of research to go, right, am I going to invest in this game? Because then I can make my decision. I don't subscribe. I really dislike this kind of make your own mind up. People haven't got all this time. Like most people haven't got the time or the money to do that. So maybe this mechanism isn't for people like us. It's what we're potentially saying.
I think there's, and this, by the way, is why I said I wouldn't be put off by anything in the 70s, because I think when you're at the point in gaming where you are able to look far ahead and like go, I'm going to play that game, do some research months before it comes out, whatever else, and go, these are what I'm excited for. Yeah. I think when you're at that stage of it all, if it gets in the 70s, that shouldn't put you off. Like, if you were wondering which game to buy next week and you see one in the 70s and one in the 90s, that might well help you.
For me, I'm so glad Ghost Recon Wildlands exists, because before that I was very much look at a score, holy shit, because I would never ever, until you guys started making me, buy a game on day one. So I would always look at these reviews and these people I trust. And luckily, one day, I think I was either bored or I had too much money at the time, God knows what. But I saw Ghost Recon Wildlands. I loved the look of it. I thought, this looks really good. But my God, the Metacritic I can see now on PC is 69%. So that's fucking horrendous. And I went, fuck it, I'll buy it. And I thought, it's honestly one of my favourite games. I've probably thrown hundreds of hours into that game. So luckily for me, I have that. But a lot of people, as you say, don't have the time or money to do that. And therefore they do look at these scores and they go buy it in gospel. Which is quite sad.
Yeah.
I think just to close this off, I think I do appreciate where you're coming from on the scoring system. I just think to do a paradigm shift on that,
it won't happen. I don't.
No,
it won't
it's just
happen.
No.
I wish
we
it
have
would.
to kind of live with what we've got and try and best explain or best utilize the system to a common way.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, there's two things that reviewers could do better, and one that is judge all games on the same level, and that is if one game performs poorly but you love the game and you review another game you don't particularly like and you punish that for its performance, that's not right. and there's big examples of that in the last year where that's happened. And as well, I don't think it's right also that PR should handpick certain reviews or review websites when it suits their game. And again, there's big examples of that in the last year. We won't open that can of worms, but as well, for me, it should be blanket. Rather than going, well, I know he likes that genre, so he'll get that review, and she likes that genre, so she'll get that.
That's
review.
a really interesting point as well, isn't it? Like with something like Elden Ring, do you give it to the people that already like Souls games?
Right.
There we go.
I'm so glad you've said this, because I was fucking furious, and I shouldn't, because I love IGN. IGN's Bayonetta review. I'd listened to that and I was disgusted, and I didn't go on their website for about a week after because I was so furious, because that's exactly what you should do. You should give, not to necessarily if they don't like them, but they should be an average person, like Ben. Yeah, if you give Ben Elden Ring to review, that would be absolutely ridiculous, because he's always going to say, you should give it to me. And when I then say this game is fucking brilliant, then the people can go, oh, wow, fucking hell, Eddie doesn't really give a shit about those games, and he could recognise that is a good game. I 100% agree with you, and that should definitely be a thing.
I do think that's why the Souls games have reviewed so highly, because they've given them to Souls, like all the Dark Souls games, because they just give it to the Souls guy in the office.
Yeah.
I assume.
I'm just trying to comprehend the average player turning on Stellaris and trying to review that.
Oh, I mean, it would
after 6 hours, just going like,
10.
is it a game? It's just a map that
Is it a
doesn't
game?
move.
Like a non-football fan playing Football Manager.
I was
this?
just thinking that. I was literally just thinking that.
This is just spreadsheets.
Is this a game? Am I having fun?
Am I having
I'm
fun?
having fun.
Ben, I asked that, and I play the game religiously.
You play it every single day for 7 hours.
Exactly. Am I having fun?
I'm so glad you mentioned Elden Ring, because that was the game I didn't want to open that fucking can of worms, but that is the one, because again, I've got the platinum, but it's never a 97 in a million fucking years, that game. And again, that's where I mentioned about handpicking reviewers, and why was that not criticised for its shocking performance?
Yeah, it's a flat 100, isn't it? Yeah, fair point.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's never a 97. It's
5 out of 5.
Donnie, I'm totally with you, mate. That's well played, fella.
Yeah. Really, I mean, we should have given them less room on that scale. 97 to 100. Come on now.
But I'm with you. No, I completely get what you're saying about all of that. Yeah, it's a thing.
It is.
Serious business, isn't it, guys?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we covered off the final question I'd got down, which was, do the scores even matter? So, in a sense, yes, but not if you're individually interested in the game.
That's a good summary, yeah.
Yeah, I think my advice to the average gamer is don't let reviews put you off.
Yes.
Maybe watch a couple of videos and see what the reviewers are saying about them. And therefore you can work out if what they've got a problem with might not be the same thing that you even give a shit about.
Or if you haven't got time, just use the Metacritic.
Yeah. There's a nice balance. If you've got
That's
time,
not what I was saying.
If you've got time, do some diligence. If you haven't got time, don't.
Yeah, that's it. If you've got time, due diligence, right?
Yeah. Fantastic. Make a spreadsheet of them all. Compare them all in depth, and then
now that is what Eddie does. That is pure Eddie.
Yes.
I've never known a man to make so many spreadsheets about gaming than Eddie. So
you know what?
Shared one with me the other day.
Yeah. We've reached at least 4 conflicting conclusions here, guys. I like that. That's a massive plus. Good. If anyone wanted to weigh in, how would they get in touch with us, Ben?
They could email us at podcast at grumpygamers.co.uk. They could tweet us at grumpygamerspod. We also have a YouTube channel, Grumpy Gamers Podcast, and we're on Twitch Thursdays at 7 p.m. Grumpy Gamers Podcast, all one word.
Are we podcasting on Thursday?
You mean, are we twitching?
Streaming, maybe?
Are we twitching on Thursday?
I think we might twitch.
Right. That's brilliant.
That was committal, wasn't it?
That was brilliant.
Like it.
Thank you.
Donnie, any shameless plugs you want to throw in as well?
Yeah. You can find me twice a month on the Pure Dead Gaming Afterlife podcast. There we go.
Perfect. See, that's how you don't sound surprised by your own channels.
Yeah, that was lovely.
Every time Ben does YouTube, it's like, you can also find us on YouTube.
YouTube,
maybe?
I forget we have a channel because we don't do much on it. We do loads. You should go check it out.
We definitely do loads. It's just like the Twitch that will be on Thursday. Yes. Fantastic. Yes. But we should say, Donnie, it's been a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, gentlemen.
Yeah, cheers. Cheers for coming on.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And for this week, that is
Thank you
GG. God damn it. Just say GG.
GG.
GG!
GG.
Why is it so hard to have the last word?